Hello, my name is Huerta and I will explain the reasons why reading is important. The first thing to keep in mind is that reading can be consumed either by pure pleasure or for the gathering of information. And this info can be stored in many formats, such as novels, mangas, recipes, social media, etc. And our students have to be able and capable enough to really receive the message that is delivered to them through text. Now, as teachers, sometimes we can come across the question of how am I going to select the materials that really will help my students to achieve this goal? Well, we have two concepts in here. The first is to have materials that are authentic. This means that we will approach the materials that create emotions with our students that are meaningful to them, that create an interaction with the reader. And the second one is to have genuine materials. These ones are basically the ones that were created by natives and also directed to natives. Um, and at some point, our students have to also be able to interact in a native-like environment. When reading, sometimes we can come across different questions, because when students make when students read and they want to apply for a certification, usually they will face these kind of questions, such as W questions, true or false, questionnaires, finding the concept of a word. But these kind of questions usually are in a very unnatural way. And I'm saying this because usually when you read something, you want to express it or share it with another person. And this comes through oral, through speaking, or it could be also through writing. Um, and this is the reason why usually reading comes together with another skill, such as speaking or writing. And we also have to promote this linking in between the skills. Um, if our students are able to really love reading, then it will be meaningful to them, and they will also read by pleasure in the way that they will really increase their vocabulary. They will be able to match the ideas with more eloquency, and they can even be better at oral, and oral performances. Um, Also, a technique that is very useful when we approach reading is to use skimming, which is basically to go and have a general view of the text, and scanning, which is also in the general text to look for specific information, target information. And this is the one that will help the students to be and have a better performance on the certifications. And as I said before, this is not very natural, but this is the way how it works for certifications. On the natural way, it will be more of expressing themselves. So this is what I got from the anthology, from the reading. Thank you so much. And in a minute, I will explain how to have a class based on reading. Thank you. Hello again. My name is Gerardo, and now we're gonna check the lesson that I planned for reading. And this is actually a lesson that I used with my students in real life. They are on intermediate level. The class was for an hour. They are students. And previously, I have taught the models of deduction grammar. So this session was basically for putting everything into action, the class will be divided into three main activities. The first one is a video with subtitles where students are gonna approach the character of Susan Boyle. This is actually the video in here. And as you can see, the subtitles are activated. So even though they are watching a video, they are still using the subtitles, which is a practice of reading. And they will use it, for instance, if they go to the movies, to the films, they will probably read subtitles. Um, that's the first one. Then in the second activity, we're gonna work on the article that is on the book. And this is about Susan Boyle. That's the reason why previously I presented Susan Boyle on a video. And in here, what I usually do is that I have students reading one paragraph, okay? And I mark the sections where they have a mispronunciation. I do not interrupt them. I only interrupt if they um, fall into fossilized words that I have found, because that has to be corrected at once. But if it is just an slip, then I let it go. And at the end, once they finish reading the paragraph, I clarify. Okay, I tell them, okay, this is where the mispronunciation words. Let's work it together. So we pronounce it together, and we correct the pronunciation. I also ask them to paraphrase, to say with their own words what they have read, or to give me the main idea, or to share something that they found interesting on this paragraph. So I repeat the same process with all the students through the whole article. And once we finish, we start with the exercises. Something positive is that this book has the activities already planned, so I don't have to waste a lot of time on trying to find what activities I'm going to do. But as you can see, the activities are different. You have filling the gaps, true or false, open questions. So it's quite enriching for them. Once we finish this activity, we go to the third section of the class, which is awarding an extended material. And this is also about Susan Boyle, but we talk about some of the dark moments in her life, sorry. And she actually suffered bullying. So we read these short paragraphs, short paragraphs. And I have students doing the same dynamic as before, but we also extend the interaction, because perhaps they have suffered bullying, or they were bullied, um, or they have seen someone who suffered of this. And it's actually very meaningful to them. When I use this activity, I noticed that students were more willing to express themselves, their ideas. So going back to the things that we learned on the anthology, having materials that are meaningful to the students, that are authentic, these will be good for them, because they will remember the things they read. They will interact more, they will analyze it better, they will even grasp the unknown vocabulary. So this is my presentation of the class, and I hope that you really enjoy it, and we will see on the next video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.